Welcome back to the Hologram News Network, your trusted source of Star Atlas news. We have some breaking news for you tonight. The Star Atlas Marketplace will no longer be supplying an infinite supply of resources in the marketplace. That's right, there will no longer be an infinite supply of food, fuel, tool, and ammo in the marketplace. Star Atlas made the announcement late on Wednesday. Let's take a look. Star Atlas is taking the first step towards a player-driven economy. That first step is to conclude the sale of R4 from the Star Atlas DAO. We're taking measures to bolster other R4 productive parts of the economy that help accommodate a smooth transition. What this means is that there will only be a 30-day supply of R4 remaining in the marketplace. Once that's bought up, there will no longer be R4 at an infinite supply rate. Let's take a look at further details from the Star Atlas Medium article. In order to implement these measures, Star Atlas has taken the following steps. A very steep increase in claim stake output of the 4 key resources. These measures include the following. A very steep increase in claim stake output of the 4 key resources. Now, according to some players who've already seen the changes, the claim stakes that they have in their inventories have received a buff of nearly 5 times the amount of resources that they produce in one day. Let's take a look. Here we have an image of a Tier 3 claim stake rate production. As you can see, the cap has been increased to 109,000 for food, 124,000 for fuel, 112,000 for ammo, and 116,000 for toolkits. Now the rate per minute has also increased, giving more production value to claim stakes. Looking back at some of the other measures taken by Star Atlas, the availability of claim stakes in the Galactic Marketplace has been increased, and the remaining primary sales in the Atlas market pair will have a 20% discount. Now, Star Atlas recently made a similar discount with their ships, all in the goal of transitioning to a player-driven economy. Let's take a look at the Star Atlas Marketplace. Taking a look at the availability of claim stake Tier 1 in the Galactic Marketplace, you can see that the quantity of supply has dramatically increased. Also, the listing price in Atlas is $14,223. A decrease of 20% from its original listing price. Now let's take a look at redspatula.io to see what that converts to in US dollars. Looking at claim stake Tier 1, we can see that the current ask price is $23.56 equivalent in USDC. Looking at the USDC market for the same tier, it's $25.40. Now, Atlas has been trading at a discount for these claim stakes for a while now. However, that's likely to change as more players purchase claim stakes on the marketplace and the price of Atlas changes. As we go up in tiers for claim stakes, we can see that the pricing in Atlas continues to remain slightly below the USDC market. Now, this is likely an intentional design by the Star Atlas team to encourage players to purchase Atlas and purchase claim stakes in this pair. Now let's go back and see some of the other measures Star Atlas has taken in trying to kickstart the player-driven economy. Measure 3 that they've taken here is a very steep increase in R4 resource loot drops from on-chain player activity in Sage and Escape Velocity. Now, if you've played Escape Velocity recently, you've noticed that a loot drop for any of the R4 resources generally is within the high 100 to high 200 ranges. Initial reports from players now playing Escape Velocity say that R4 loot drops are over 1,000 per loot drop. This is roughly a 5 to 6 times increase in the amount of R4 dropped per player. Now on to the big measure, as we discussed. Star Atlas will no longer be providing an infinite supply of R4 resources. Now, to wean folks off of the supply in the marketplace, they have listed a 30-day trailing supply of resources in the marketplace. Now, Michael Wagner clarified that this has been measured off of the past 30-day consumption of fleets staked in Score. Let's take a look at the available supply in the marketplace. At this present time, you can see that the available quantity of ammo remaining in the marketplace is just over 2.8 billion units. As we look towards the other resources, we can see that food is at 1.8 billion, fuel is at 2.5 billion, and toolkits are at 3.2 billion. Now, reports also indicate that players are purchasing large quantities of these R4 resources in preparation for the next stages of the game. However, it's not sure if this is going to be an advantage or disadvantage, as the price of R4 fluctuates in the player-driven economy. One thing to note is the prices of R4 as we conclude its sale from the marketplace by the Star Atlas DAO. Here we see toolkits are selling at 0.0017 Atlas. For fuel, we have 0.00144 Atlas. For food, we have 0.0006 Atlas. And for ammunition, we have 0.0021 Atlas. As the supply of R4 runs out in the DAO, R4 will then be supplied by players in the economy. One thing to watch, and one thing that we'll certainly be watching, is how the price changes and fluctuates either higher or lower given the new player economy driven by supply and demand and consumption. Players in the Star Atlas Discord have already noted a concern of whether or not the available staked claim stakes in faction claims is enough to supply all the number of active fleets in score. Now, the Star Atlas economics team has likely evaluated this data, and it's probable that there will be a shortage of R4 at the initial get-go. However, as more claim stakes are online, and as more players play Escape Velocity, there will likely be some sort of equilibrium achieved. The question is, will that price be higher or lower than the current price of R4 listed in the Star Atlas DAO? Michael Wagner has stated that it is in players' hands now to run the economy. Star Atlas will have safeguards in place by constantly monitoring the status of the economy to ensure that there is no deviations either in one direction or another of serious consequence to the economy. As the supply of R4 from the DAO runs out, we'll continue to monitor and update Star Atlas economic news for our viewers. Lastly, this is certainly a historic moment in a player-driven economy, specifically for Star Atlas. Time will only tell if whether or not the ending of Star Atlas DAO provided R4 is a boon or a hinder on the existing Star Atlas economy. With future gameplay releases in the works and upcoming release dates soon, the economy will likely be in the hands of the players from here on out. Ships likely will be reconsidered by players due to the scarce availability of R4 initially. Claim stakes are likely to see an increase in usage due to their quote-unquote buff, and we'll likely see a surge in EV participation as loot drops have been increased for players. Thanks for watching, Commanders. Be sure to like and subscribe to our Hologram News Network channel, your trusted source of Star Atlas news. We'll continue to monitor the economic developments and provide you with those updates, so make sure you hit that notification button to get the latest updates in Star Atlas. I'm Kriegs, signing off.